The two health types we're going to talk about today are the Crusader and Guardian and how they differ. What we know about the Crusader is it's a combination of ectomorph and mesomorph. We know that this brain is very dopamine dominant. They are driven by their mission and driven by achievement. And they've also got a body that is designed for high-speed endurance. They need regular carbohydrates, which are very, very healthy for this body. They're also an early bird and they need plenty of fuel at the start of the day. So making sure as a Crusader you're having a really solid breakfast is very important. And then 3 even meals throughout the day and 2 snacks is going to be what's really fantastic for a Crusader body. The problem, though, however, is that they'll sometimes forget about food, but they'll be far more productive if they eat the food. This is something that sometimes Crusaders have trouble getting their mind around, is they've got to stop for food, but when they do, it's going to serve them in the long run. So the really important things for a Crusader to consider is that they need to make sure they're well hydrated. They need to make sure that they're consuming regular and easily digested carbohydrates, definitely citrus fruits for snacks, juices for a snack as well as also quite appropriate, and the root vegetables at lunch, grains that are appropriate for them as well based on their individualized list. But a very important part of a Crusader digesting a little bit more effectively is making sure that the meals are cooked. Generally, having warm meals is going to be very powerful for the Crusader and support their digestive capacity. They need to be very careful of stimulants and alcohol. Anything affecting the brain is going to significantly derail a Crusader and make it harder for them to achieve their goals. On the other hand, we have the Guardian, who have the best conservation and growth. They are all about slow and steady as opposed to high speed and endurance. They generally will do far better with a lower protein and carbohydrate diet, and this is because they have the best growth. They don't need nutrients that stimulate lots of growth in their body because they're already growing very well without it. They need to be very careful of stress and simple carbohydrates in the morning. And one of the most important things, if not the most important thing for a Guardian, is that they are eating an enormous amount of vegetables. The really interesting thing about the Guardian is that they can live slightly fasted, semi-fasted, and they will respond quite well to a fast every now and again. The tips for a Guardian to be in their best health is to have the highest vegetable requirement. Every meal should include vegetables. Most careful with carbohydrates in the morning and evening. So definitely between 6 and 10 p.m. and 6 and 10 a.m. These are times when carbohydrates are not going to be received as well. As a result, having a light veggie or broth dinner is going to be one of the most profound changes that a Guardian can make for the big differences that they're after. And you'll normally find that Guardians will have cravings too, whether it be for sweet foods or savory foods. And we often find that stresses around family and finances may actually be driving some of these cravings. So it's worth checking out that if it's relevant to you right now. So you can see that these are very different bodies. We've got a body on the left that is designed for high-speed endurance, plenty of carbohydrates, very regular food throughout the day. Whereas over on the right, we have a body that is so good at growing, we don't need to stimulate that growth anymore. And lowering the amount of protein and carbohydrates has a raft of health benefits for this particular body. So hopefully with that, you can start to see that everybody needs something slightly different.